Good morning, students. Have you finished your prayer? Yeah, do your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Students, take your social science book. So come to page number 159. Today we will see the new topic in geography first lesson, rocks. So what we have discussed in our previous class? Yeah, we saw about the different spheres of earth and also the layers of earth. So what are the four spheres of earth? Yeah, hydrosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. So based on the living things, so based on the living factor, it was classified as abiotic and biotic factors. So biotic factors, so where the living organisms exist, it was called as biosphere. Yeah. So abiotic factors are what? Yeah. So the non-living factors which support living factors were called as abiotic factors. So abiotic factors includes lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. So in this lesson we saw about the lithosphere. So what do you mean by lith? Yeah, rock. Okay, so lith means rock. Yeah. Then so what are the three layers of earth? So that is the three interior layers of earth. Yeah, crust, mantle, core. So we saw about it detailedly. So different chemical composition of crust, mantle, core. So in which layer we are standing? Crust, mantle or core? Yeah, crust. So we are standing in the upper layer of the earth called as crust. Yeah. So mantle. So mantle. So the molten state of rock in mantle was called as magma. Yeah. So core. So core is divided into inner core and outer core. So why the inner core is solid in nature and the outer core is liquid in nature? So inner core is solid in nature. So because due to high pressure. Yeah. So actually core is liquid in nature only, but inner core is why it was solid means due to the high pressure. Yeah. So we saw about it detailedly in our previous class. In today's class we will see about the different types of rocks. So first definition for rocks and different types of rocks with their example and how it was formed. So introduction. So crust. So in the first layer of earth, so it is nothing but the storehouse of rocks. Yeah, so the rocks are found in the crust only. Yeah, so crust is nothing but the storehouses of the rocks. So you can find different types of rocks in the crust only. Yeah. So what is rock? So rock is nothing but aggregate of minerals on the earth crust. So aggregate means so something that were formed by a group of things. Yeah, so some was something that is an element or a group of element. So combined together form a object. Okay, so aggregate means so nothing but a single one, so formed by a group of things. Okay, so rock is nothing but so group of minerals, or sometimes the minerals combine together to form a rock. Yeah. So if the rock is hard and compact, that is it was well shaped. Yeah, so it is closely and tightly packed means it was a rock. Okay, so sometimes the rock may be hard and well packed as like granite, or sometimes it may be soft so as clay, or sometimes it may be loose as sand. Okay, so sand is also a mineral only. If it is closely or tightly packed means it is a rock or a granite. Okay, so example granite. Or if not closely packed as like that of rock means it look like a clay. Okay, so there are three types of rock, so based on the formation. So based on the formation the rocks are classified as three types. So first one is igneous rock, second one is sedimentary rocks, and the third one is metamorphic rocks. So we will see one by one detailing. So introduction. So crust. So in the first layer of earth, so it is nothing but the storehouse of rocks. Okay, so the rocks are found in the crust only. Yeah, so crust is nothing but the storehouses of the rocks. So you can find different types of rocks in the crust only. Yeah. So what is rock? So rock is nothing but aggregate of minerals on the earth crust. So aggregate means so something that were formed by a group of things. Yeah, so some was something that is an element or a group of element, so combined together form a object. Okay, so aggregate means so nothing but a single one, so formed by a group of things. Okay, so rock is nothing but so group of minerals, or sometimes the minerals combine together to form a rock. Okay, so if the rock is hard and compact, that is it was well shaped. Okay, so it is closely and tightly packed means it was a rock. Okay, so sometimes the rock may be hard and well packed as like granite, or sometimes it may be soft so as clay, or sometimes it may be loose as sand. Okay, so sand is also a mineral only. If it is closely or tightly packed means it is a rock or a granite. Okay, so example granite. Or if not closely packed as like that of rock means it look like a clay. Okay, so there are three types of rock, so based on the formation. Okay, so based on the formation the rocks are classified as three types. So first one is igneous rock, second one is sedimentary rocks, and the third one is metamorphic rocks. So we will see one by one detailing. So before entering to the class, so see this picture. So it was a ancient city of Petra in Jordan. Yeah, so Jordan it is an Arabian country. So this city was so entirely carved out of rocks. So that is, so they made the city in the hilly region. So they just see this picture. So just they removed the some rocks and built the city. Okay, so you can see in Tamil Nadu also. So Mamalapuram. So have you visited? So if you not visited means if you get a chance na just visit that temple and all. Okay, va. So Mamalapuram. So in India, so we have such rock cut architecture in Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra, the Aihole and Badami temples in Karnataka, and the Konark temple in Odisha, and Mamalapuram in Tamil Nadu. Yeah, so these temples are built just by carved out of the rocks. Yeah, so in Jordan, so a city called as Petra, it was an ancient city. So the entire city was carved out of rocks only. So this picture so one location in the city of Petra. So first igneous rocks. So igneous, so it is derived from the Latin word ignis meaning fire. Oh, yeah, so igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, so which means fire. So the interior of the earth contains very hot molten material called as magma. You know, so where is magma? In which layer it is present? Yeah, mantle. Yeah, so the lower part of the mantle, so which is in the liquid, that is in molten state. So the lower part of the mantle contains the molten state of rock, so which was called as magma. So when magma during volcano eruption reaches out to the earth surface as lava, yeah, so the magma, so which is present in the lower mantle of the earth. Yes, so lower mantle of the earth, when it comes out, so during volcano eruption it was called as lava. So when lava on the surface cools down and gets solidified as rocks. Yes, this lava, so because of earth's temperature it become cool and gets solidified, so it become too tight and form as a rock. Yeah, so it will happen and it will take thousands of years. Okay, so lava won't suddenly change into a rock, it takes a lot of years, yeah, so to become a rock. Yeah, so the best example for igneous type of rocks were granite and basalt. Okay, so the best example for igneous rocks were granite and basalt. Yeah, so igneous rocks was considered as primary or mother rocks. Yeah, so igneous rocks were called as primary or other rocks. So why means, so because other rocks are directly or indirectly formed from them. Yeah, so the other sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are formed directly or indirectly from the igneous rocks. So that's why it was called as primary or mother rocks. Okay, so what are the three types of rocks based on their formation? Yeah, igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and sedimentary rocks. Okay, so igneous, so why it was named as igneous rocks? Yeah, so it was formed from the lava. Yes, it was formed from the, that is magma, that is fire. Yeah. So that's why it was called as ignis. So it is derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. The interior of the earth contains very hot molten material. So the lower part of the mantle is very hot and molten material. So it was called as magma. When it comes out of the earth surface, that is when it reaches the earth surface, it was called as lava. So lava on the surfaces cools down and gets solidified as rocks. Okay, so the best example for igneous rocks were granite and basalt. Yeah. Then it was called as primary or mother rocks. So why means so other rocks are directly or indirectly formed from them. That's why it was called as igneous rocks. So this slide simply shows the formation of igneous rocks. Yeah, okay. So just this is an volcano eruption. Okay, so when the lava comes out of the earth interior, that is the magma comes out and reaches the surface as lava. Okay, so it cools down and forms igneous rock. Okay, so the molten state. So the molten material inside the earth called as magma when reaches the earth surface called as lava. After a couple of years, so after 1000 of years, so it was solidified as igneous rocks. So these are some examples of igneous rocks. So pegmatite, basalt, pumice, diorite, granite, obsidian. So there are a lot of igneous rocks. So these are few examples. So pegmatite, basalt, pumice, diorite, granite and obsidian. Next is sedimentary rocks. So this was also named after the Latin word sediment meaning settle. Yeah, so sedimentary rocks. So how it get the name sedimentary means? So it was named after the Latin word sediment meaning settle. Yeah, so how was the name igneous given to igneous rocks? Yes, it was also derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. So likewise sedimentary means, so it was derived from the Latin word sediment, which means settle. Yeah, so the rivers, glacier and winds carry bits of rocks and soil and deposit them in layers. Yeah, so after millennia of years, so these sediments harden into compact rocks. Yeah, so the rivers, glaciers and winds carry bits of rocks and soils and deposit them in layers. So after a million of years, so these sediments so harden into compact rock. Yeah. So same way the bodies of plants and animals so that falls on the deposits gets embedded in the layers and forms fossils. Yeah, so in history you studied about the fossil bones now. Yeah, so it was also look like a rock only. So that is the bodies of plants and animals that fall on the deposits get embedded in the layers and forms the fossils. Okay, so this is also an example for sedimentary rocks. Okay, so fossils are nothing but the sedimentary rocks. So this picture shows the formation of sedimentary rocks. So from the land, so there are a lot of things. So there are a lot of materials washed by the movement of water or sometimes wind. So that moves into sea, and at the bottom layer of the sea, it will turn into rock. So the layers of sediments. So over the time, so they turn to a rock. Okay, so sometimes the dead plants and animals. So the plants and animal material dies and they also change into rock after some thousands of years. So these are the some examples for sedimentary rocks. So conglomerate, sandstone, shale, limestone, gypsum, dolomite. Okay, so some examples for sedimentary rocks. So conglomerate, sandstone, shale, limestone, gypsum and dolomite. Yeah, so these are some examples for sedimentary rocks. So next one is metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic, so it is also derived from the Latin word metamorphosis, so which means change of form. Yeah. So metamorphic is derived from the word metamorphosis, which means change of form. Yeah, so igneous derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. So likewise sedimentary, which is derived from the Latin word sediment, so which means settle. So likewise metamorphic derived from the Latin word metamorphosis, which mean change of form. Okay. So how it was formed? So that is igneous and sedimentary rocks. So when subjected to extreme heat and pressure, undergo a complete change in their form and character. Yeah, so how was metamorphic rock formed means, if the igneous and sedimentary rocks subjected to extreme heat and pressure, they undergo a complete change in their form and character. So that is in course of time. So the igneous rock and sedimentary rocks like granite may get transformed into gneiss, basalt to schist, limestone to marble, and sandstone to quartzite. Okay, so granite and basalt are the examples of which type of rock? Yeah, igneous rock. Yeah, so granite when get transformed to gneiss means it is a metamorphic rock. So basalt will change to schist, a type of metamorphic rock. So limestone and sandstone were which type of rock? Sedimentary or igneous? Yeah, sedimentary. Yeah, so limestone will change to marble and sandstone to quartzite. Yeah, so marble stone. So have you heard about this stone? A famous place in India was built with the help of this marble stone. A historical place and a very famous tourist place. It is located in Agra. Yeah, Taj Mahal. It was built in this marble stone only. So it was a type of metamorphic rocks. Okay, so once again just to recall. So there are three types of rocks. One is igneous and sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Okay, so igneous rocks are nothing but they are formed from the magma. Yeah, so the magma when it reaches of the earth surface they called as lava and they cooled and solidified as igneous rocks. Okay, so sedimentary, so nothing but so different particles so were settled in a particular place, especially in the river bed. So because of the action of water and wind, so they were settled in a particular place, and over a period of years it will change into rock. So sometimes plants and animals, so their dead body also sometimes change into a rock. So they were embedded in the rock surface and they also change into a rock. So they were called as fossil bones. Then third one is metamorphic rocks, that is if the sedimentary rocks and igneous rocks are subjected to heavy pressure and heat means it will undergo a change in their chemical structure. So that was called as metamorphic rocks. So this picture simply shows the formation of metamorphic rocks. So the pressure and heat and pressure from the interior of the earth so changes the shape of rock, so changes the chemical composition and the physical structure of rock, so that was called as metamorphic rocks. So these are some examples for metamorphic rocks. So marble, quartzite, myeloite, phyllite, slate, schist, gneiss. Okay, so these are some types of metamorphic rocks. Okay, so rock cycle, so nothing but the continuous process through which igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are transformed from one form to another. It was called as rock cycle. So rocks, so they won't be igneous for a long period of time. So they won't be sedimentary rocks for a longer period of time, and they won't be metamorphic for a long period of time. So it was like a cycle. Yes, it was like a cycle. So one form will change into another form. So they won't be in a particular form for a period of years. So but it won't happen within a second or within a year. So it takes a millions of years. So the rock cycle will happen in millions of years. So sometimes it may be like a rock, or sometimes it may be a soil material. So they harden, so they loosen, or they change their form. Okay, so likewise, so the cycle is going. So the rock cycle is going. So nothing but the continuous process through which igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are transformed from one form to another is called as rock cycle. So okay students, so thank you. So I have finished this rocks. Okay, so if you have any doubt, just contact me. Okay, take care, finish your homework.